After my first video on taping your knee for support, I got so many questions about not just how to use kinesiology tape, but other ways that you could use it. Hold up. Let's do a quick review of what kinesiology tape is. First, KT tape is a brand, so that's kind of like saying you're using a Kleenex when you're using a tissue to blow your nose. Just FYI. But beyond that, here's what's happening. The tape applies just the smallest amount of pressure to your skin to raise it up, which improves blood flow, increases lymphatic drainage, can provide joint support, while also not impeding your range of motion. Meaning with the tape on, there's nothing to encumber you like a brace or a sleeve or any other kind of outer garment that goes over you rather than being directly on your skin. One super important way that I wanted to talk to you about is swelling. After my knee surgery and during my injury, it was so helpful because as long as that joint is swollen, you obviously have less movement and you're not getting the fluid out of there so that you can start doing your physical therapy and all of those things. You'll see some very interesting photos of the different ways in which my physical therapist used rock tape. And yes, rock tape, which I will link below, is the one that I actually prefer. I found that I could put it on, I could shower, I could sweat, whatever, and it would work for days on end. All right, so let's talk about how we actually use tape for swelling. It's a little bit different. Before, you remember, we wanted a piece to kind of go over, and we would talk a lot about the amount of tension that you put on the tape. But when we're looking at swelling, we're gonna actually do something just a little bit different. So first, we're gonna figure out how big of a strip we need. If it's your knee, you're gonna do the same where you start just above, and then you're gonna run it down a little farther. So before we went to just below the knee, we're gonna go, top part of your shin here. So we'll cut off our piece. And then, step one is always rounding, because if we don't do that, then the tape will catch on clothing and different things like that, and that's when it starts to pull away, and so then it only lasts you like a day, which is super frustrating because this is not cheap, right? Next step, we want to do what we call spidering the tape. So I'm gonna move it down a little bit so that I've got an anchor point, and then while it's folded in half, I'm gonna cut twice. So I'm gonna create 3 strips. So 1 and 2. Now we have a single strip with an anchor point and our spiders. And we've got cats that are super interested and would like to do this too. So, just like before, you're gonna peel off the top part, anchor, and then you actually start to do the spider. So what that means is 1 strip is gonna come down this way, 1 straight over, and 1 kind of along the side. Now, I prefer to use 2 strips, and so in that case, I'm gonna anchor it slightly over here so that I can curve around the leg. And then you do a second piece and you spider around the leg the other direction. And you can see a couple of images here that I'll show you from my physical therapist when I did that. But what's happening there is a couple of things. Your brain is now being told, thanks to the kinesiology tape, that it can move the fluid. And that's just because it's just a slight touch on your skin that's activating circulation. It's pulling the skin up ever so slightly, in the sense that you won't know that it's being pulled up because we're putting this on with 0 tension. So you're literally laying them down. No pulling and putting them down. You're just laying them down. You'll see that this is used for swelling edema. Some people use it around bruising even, because the whole idea is that it's going to help improve and increase circulation. Clearly, I am a super fan of tape. I never thought that I would be, but I've been shocked at the number of uses for it. If you have more questions or specific things you're looking for, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.